Hey guys, and welcome to some Dust 514 gameplay. I accidentally didn't record last time, so I had 3.5 million skill points and a lot of money to spend, and I went and spent it, and I explained all the points through, so I'm going to go over this again. Basically, the game is complicated if you don't read the instructions, which is where I threw myself off for the first month because I thought, do you know what, it cannot be that hard. I'll just throw myself into this, it'll be really easy. What you do, very, very straightforward. You will buy certain things here, and these will give you the ability to have things. So for here, you can have drop suit command, and what this does is it for operating drop suits, and you'll buy it and you'll upgrade it. In order to buy it, you have to buy the book, the book, the tutorial for it, and you buy that. So I'm not going to buy that because that's quite expensive, and I'm not that. I'm not Kaldahari. I'm where is it? Galente. So you'd buy it. And then you learn the attributes through to it. What I did is, because I'm Galente, I went to medium drop suits, and here you'll see what it gives me. Training cost times 6. And through here you can see everything that I've bought. I'm not logistics, I'm an assault, so I keep it with the assault. And this gives me, so per level, 5% drop suit shield recharge rate per level, so at the moment I'm on 15%, and that will go up to 25%, which is actually a really, really large amount. And it also gives me 5% reduction to hybrid weaponry, so at the moment that's 15. And we'll get onto PG and CPU usage. So that's pretty much how the drop suit works. You buy it, and then you'll be able to buy the drop suits. And you go into here, and these are your drop suit upgrades. So here, this gives you equipment. It's pretty straightforward. There you go. This is my armor. So I now have 10% better armor, plus 2%. And the same thing applies with the guns as well. So what you do here is you look into it, and this will allow you to use these kind of things. Light weapons would be your assault rifles, your laser rifles, your snipers, and all that jazz stuff. So here you can see I have my assault rifle on the very top there, and I have 20% recoil reduction. Basically, I carry 10% more ammo, and I have 10% less reduction. Well, yeah. And here, what you can get is these will increase the damage, but in order to unlock that, you see there's a level 5 just to the left of it, which means this will have to be level 5 for me to get that, and that will cost me 310,000 SP, which is your skill points or XP, which I'll explain in a minute. And then here we have your vehicle command. Everyone has the option to command a vehicle. Everyone can drive a vehicle. Everyone can drive the LAVs, which isn't what it is in Battlefield. It's like a light armored vehicle. It's just a car, and you can outfit it with. Well, it has a turret on it default, but you can upgrade that turret if you wish. So what you do is you go through these, and you'd buy them, so you can now operate the gunships, dropships, and stuff. So you get the heavy armored ones, which, as far as I'm aware, is a tank, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can go through all these, and this is essentially the exact same thing as what you found on the drop suits. So you buy it, you go to here, core upgrades, so that boosts your PG and CPU. You get your turret operation, which, don't do the mistake that I did when I first played this game because I didn't read it. This does not respond to a turret you drop, it rather responds to the turret on a vehicle, so you'll be able to have these, or you'll be able to operate them better. You don't need to worry about that, really. That's something else. So, now we've explained the drop suits a little bit, I'll explain the fitting and how this works. So, I'll go to mine. I only have 8 of these guns left, but down on the bottom left you can see my CPU, which is 145 out of 150. Now if I got a better suit, I'd have the option, I'll just edit it here, so this is my suit, and I can change that, but this is the default one, so it's never going to run out. And here you can see all of these, so, you know, nice and simple. This is my GPU, PG, and there you go, and I have them running on there. So, the 145 is coming from these. So you can see my CPU, it takes up 47, My submachine gun secondary takes up 20, grenade takes up 12, and the health kit takes up 20. And here is exactly the same thing. So they all attribute to each side. You upgrade these with drop suits. So if you go here, for example, I don't have an option. I haven't changed it yet. So this is the basic one. You'd get the armor, and you have a choice. Because I bought a different rifle, I changed this from previously. I think it was that beforehand, but yeah, it all comes down to personal preference here. So the reason that has a number 8 is because I only have 8 assault rifles. If any part of this kit, so that includes my assault rifle, my secondary, my grenades, that's not going to run out. Or here you can see I've got my militia cardiac respirator, which makes me recover quicker. When they get down to 0, I will either have the option to restock the class, or if I don't have the option, then I won't be able to use it. And the same goes for this, so I only have 8 of these left, and 1 is consumed each time you die. So don't die if you bought a lot of expensive stuff. Now the marketplace is where you go to buy everything, and this is literally everything. So on the storefront you have all the special deals. So you got a lot of people doing stuff like this. Now, Aurum is... I'm trying to think of a game I could compare it to. I don't play a lot. If any of you have played PlanetSide 2, I think it's 7 cash. That would be the best example of AUR, or it's your own money that you've put into this. They come in different costs, obviously. And militia gear, now we'll move on to the militia gear. Militia gear doesn't run out, doesn't matter what, but it's weaker than the rest. As well as, there you go, in-game. There you go, that'll be you spending your own money. So as you can see at the top right, I have 0, but I have a lot of ISK. I'll just call it ISK because it's shorter. So these you won't run out of, but they're not as good as the actual drop suits that you'll have to buy and restock after every game. And the same goes for the rest of this. So, pretty straightforward. No, you don't want to go into that because that's how much you have to buy stuff for. So if you click on, we'll just quickly. Right, so it loaded. Now, here you go. These are what you can buy. I'm not going to lie, they are not cheap, especially at 85 quid. But there are cheaper ones you can buy. I won't get into them because I do not know, because I do not buy them. Now, drop suits, these are going to be better, but you will run out. I'd recommend for scouts, so snipers. You can use them if you want. They don't provide a lot of armor, so they're best to be avoided, if you ask me. I don't use them. If I have a snipe, I would not use them either. A lot of people will get to where you are very easily with a medium drop suit, even though you have a light, and you end up being outgunned, so it's not really worthwhile using them. And here you have your assault ones, which I can buy, which I'm going to, if I upgraded my operation. But for example here, so you'd see its attributes and what it can give me. So it's essentially what I'm wearing right now. But you can upgrade these all as you go along. These are essentially the same. These are virtually identical. Difference being that one there's bought with actual money and this one's bought with in-game currency. Oh, hello. So I'm probably going to end up buying... Let me just double check that quickly. Yeah, I'm buying that one. So I'll show you how this works now. So what you do is you buy them, and this is going to cost me ISK, so I'm going to buy 10. We'll do that in a minute. So you can go through all the way down through these, and when I get the skills, as you can see there, we're using my... you have to buy the book, like I said, and then you have to spend the skill points as well. But it's quite a nice touch, so it's not like you can buy it and suddenly you're the best thing, you're the biggest badass most motherfucker out there and everything. So we move on to heavy, which are the sort of guys that will carry the bigger guns, and they have higher... here we go, where is it? They have more health, more armor than your medium will do. So we'll just look at the average medium. So that's about 200, 300 difference. And then your scout, well, your scout's pretty weak. I mean, 70. That's a total of 200, which is just over just under even the medium's armor, so armor rating. And we'll move on to weapons now. These are very easy. You just buy them. You just buy these. So these are your normal grenades, obviously. So that'll be your sort of EMP things. These weren't in when last time I checked. But these are your light weapons, as I explained earlier. So these are your assault rifles, and as you can see, because I have the necessary skills, a lot of them are ticked. So I could buy this if I wanted to, which I can't because I'm not going to spend my own money. I'm not a very rich person. Says the guy with a recording device. So here you can buy the assault rifles, assault sniper rifles. They have a lot higher damage, but when it comes down to it, you definitely want to upgrade your skills, obviously, before you buy any of these, and these are pretty much you have to anyway. But so let's go to the very bottom one, and we'll look at its damage. That's pretty shocking. So that'll do up to that much. Where is it? I'm trying to find a decent one. I've been in this game in a while. So that'll be if you fully charge that. That'll do 300 damage. And you get your laser rifles here. Which, well, self-explanatory really. And then we'll go on to your sidearms now. You can have your knife. You can have your scrambler pistols. It all comes down to personal preference. I prefer having a submachine gun because when this first came out, the sensitivity was a bit touchy, so I just stuck with something that just emptied a whole load of bullets into the guy and made it very easy for me. So this is an anti-material gun, as it just says there, and this will do a lot of damage. So, you know, as you can see here, the blast radius is 2.5 meters, and that damage is ridiculous. And you'll normally use these against tanks and stuff. But you can use them against sort of foot soldiers. They do take a while to charge up. Heavy weapons, you'll see a lot of these. A lot of people run around with these. It doesn't do a lot of damage per shot, but as you can see, its rate of fire is enough to just completely destroy someone. And you get all of these here, and these are pretty much self-explanatory. So now, these, I'll explain these in more detail if I find a game. Nano hives restore ammunition, and you just equip these and you can drop these. You have to buy them, but you can buy the militia one. I don't think it gives you as much. It doesn't reward you with as many points as a normal one would. So, there you go. I would explain these, but a lot of the descriptions just make it very easy. So, nanite injector revives people. It's kind of hard to explain when it explains it for you. So here you go. You have these, and these are the tanks, as I explained, as I said earlier. And you can get in these even if you haven't bought one. That's another good part of this. So you're not worrying about all of these having to get one, or whether or not you need to be able to drive one. And here you have your light vehicles, which are the cars. They're pretty cool looking cars. A lot of them come with a built-in turret anyway. There you go, small vehicle turret, but you can change that if you buy it. And then you have dropships, which are the vehicles, which I've never had an option to fly. So I'd imagine I'd get in one and crash if I even tried. But these can carry people, and they have 2 small vehicle turrets and 5 passengers. So I wouldn't let anybody get in because I'd slam into the ground. Turrets go on to the tanks. So, for example, turrets onto the tanks and the cars, as well as the dropships. So these would go on anything. So the large ones would go onto a tank, and you'd need the right skills to be able to use them. And then obviously you can go down here, you can buy skills, as I did. Oh, stop going to the PlayStation Store. Right. So we've covered pretty much the basics of this, and you could get a very good feel for it. Now I'll just show you my drop suit fitting, and I will change my armor to show you how it works. So here I'll edit my class. You can do this middle of the game as well. You need to make a new one, sorry. So we're going to create a new one. And it's giving me it automatically. Invalid fitting. Yeah, I'm trying to. So as you can see, it looks quite snazzy, if people still use that word. So I'll stick on my submachine gun, which I have 50. My locust grenade on. I'll get my nano hive down. So I have one of. Obviously, it's up to you what you choose and what you buy here. So this all comes down to what you... I have these... damage bonus. Ooh, hello. Just just simple things. It's all quite straightforward, but as I said, I mean, you'd really want to look into the game. You really want to read about it. Just don't do what I do. You will not have that much fun. Actually, I don't want that one. If you do not pay attention, so that's why I'm kind of doing this now, because I can guarantee someone's done exactly what I've done. And oh, I can't have that on actually. I've overdone my CPU. So, as I said, it all depends on how much. So I'll go for that one then, because I'm allowed that. So that's my drop kit, and we'll go find a game now, and I'll show you guys how it works. So you just open the Battle Finder, or you can do it from how I did it. Skirmish is like Conquest if you played Battlefield, and an ambush is a large team deathmatch. I'll go for the large team deathmatch. I'll do a lot better in team deathmatches, as I had one earlier, and I did surprisingly well. So I had a pretty decent connection there.
Reserves at 50%.
Right, so I'm just going to change my fitting to our new one. I only have used it once, but I'll show you. That gives me a perfect chance to show you guys how everything works. So, obviously out here you can see that the guys run off. But this is pretty much it. My sensitivity is very low, is how I prefer it, but it does pick up speed. Now, this game isn't restricted to you using purely a PS3 controller, which I think is quite a nice touch personally. People from PC can come and join us on this, and they can use their mouse and keyboard. No difficulty. I shouldn't really have wasted that. I'll see if I can drop this down the ground here. Now the gun I'm using, I've chosen because it's easy to control. So here I can see other people. And, oh, sorry, I can see their range from me. That was a bit poor. You get 50 points per kill, and your kill assist will always be 25. So what we're doing here is, I think we've got some enemies around here somewhere. So we've got an enemy tank, and you want to kind of get out of the way of them. They'll appear on the map as the diamond. Ooh. Land vehicles appear on the map as a diamond, and flying vehicles appear on the map as a triangle. Heavy ones are a full diamond. See if I can get my thing back. Will appear as a full diamond, and tanks will appear as... No, light vehicles will appear as a half diamond, and tanks will appear as a full diamond. So, a lot of crap going on. Where the fuck that tank? Right, so tanks obviously moved. The controls are like the majority of first-person shooters. Cheers. Pressing triangle will crouch, and R2 will change your weapon. Not like most. Squares still reload, and all the buttons are still the same. So it's nice and easy. It's easy to get used to. But since they've updated it, they've updated a lot of things. It wasn't that big of an update.
Mission timer at 50%.
I think we've beaten them. Yeah, we have. I haven't really been able to show anyone dying. So as you can see here, none of them can respawn again. Because their counters hit 0. And that's how many more clones they can spawn in. So, we've won this, which means when we dispatch of everyone, I'm going to die, I think. Yep. When we dispatch of everyone, so when that guy dies, and if he's the last one, we will have won the game. So here you go.
Mission accomplished. Hostiles eliminated.
Didn't really get a choice there to show you how that worked. But you can just restock it mid-game, which is nice. So if you accidentally overgo what you thought you would use, you can still, you know, count. And obviously I wasn't incredibly useful that game, so I got a minimal amount. Yeah, pretty negative KD ratio. My last one was pretty good. And it'll give you your basic stats, pretty much. So I received quite a fair amount of damage, but I got healed a lot. And we will look at the kill board and who was... So, as you can see here, we can see their KD ratio. And that guy there was doing pretty well. You can see their corporation. So, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Ostrakon. And what we'll do here is we'll just return to the Merc quarters. And yeah, so that I guess would be a beginner's guide to Dust 514.